such crimes shall also be considered contract default, increasing the public debt subject to bounty. Any and all corporate officers of the United States and any successor organizations inheriting federal service contracts who support, condone, or promote such crimes against the American states or against American state citizens shall be subject to arrest and prosecution for commercial and violent crimes. All foreign officers operating as elected or appointed officials of the United States of America crimes. All foreign officers operating as elected or appointed officials of the United States of America minor who support, condone, or promote such crimes against the American states and the American states' citizens shall be subject to arrest, confiscation of their assets, and deportation to Puerto Rico, Guam, or other such states as may be willing to receive them. Such foreign officials include members of the American and British Bar Associations who were licensed to act as privateers against the interests of the American and the British Bar Associations who were licensed to act as privateers against the interests of the American states and the American state citizens from 1845 to 2013. It's 1845 to 2013 in flagrant breach of trust. Flagrant breach of trust. All such licenses are now extinguished. Members of the bar associations are required to cease and desist assaults against the American state and American state citizens and shall be subject to arrest, confiscation, and deportation otherwise, insomuch as corporate officers operating in the United States of America Incorporated in the United States have contrived under conditions of fraud and systematic deceit to revenue. So I'll state it again. Insomuch as corporate officers operating the United States of America Incorporated and the United States have contrived under conditions of fraud and systematic deceit to revenue the estates of the American states and living American state citizens to the foreign jurisdiction of the United States of America minor. They are found guilty of capital crimes, including acts of fraud and treason committed between 1833 and 1845, and are commended post Thotham, Thweston, Post, POSTHUMOUSLY. If somebody could help me out with that. Insomuch as elected officials operating the United States of America minor have similarly similarly committed war crimes against the American states and their peaceful inhabitants during the same time period. They stand commend posthumously. 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 So I'll read it again. American minor, they are found guilty of capital crimes, including acts of fraud and treason committed between 1933 and 1945, and are committed posthumously, insomuch as elected officials operating the United States of America minor have similarly committed war crimes against the American states and their peaceful inhabitants during the same time period. They stand commended posthumously. I'm gonna have to get somebody to read that over. No enforcement upon any American state or American state citizen is owned as a result of any act of any Congress operating as a sovereign government of the United States of America minor, nor as the board of directors or board of trustees of any incorporated entity whatsoever. All those estates and estates erroneously believed to represent the American states and American state citizens. So all those states and states erroneously believed to represent the American states and American state citizens, and which were conveyed by fraud and legal deceit to the United States of America minor, and more recently to the city-state of the United Nations, are revenued without exception to the geographically defined American states and American state citizens, where they shall remain in perpetuity, and assets belonging to the rightful and lawful beneficiaries, all legal fiction entities, however structured and named after the American states and American state citizens, are returned to them and their control. I'll read this again because I think I missed it. All in the American state citizens, where they shall remain in perpetuity, and assets belonging to the rightful and lawful beneficiaries, all legal fiction entities, however structured, and as assets belonging to the rightful and lawful beneficiaries, all legal fiction entities, however structured and named after the American states and American state citizens, are returned to them and their control, free and clear of any debt, promise, encumbrance, and obligations alleged against them as a result of false claims made in their behalf by officers of the United States of America, Inc. and the United States, Inc., or by the foreign officials operating the United States of America minor or the United Nations city state, falsely claiming to represent them or have jurisdiction over them. We note that the current circumstance is in part the result of criminal acts engaged in 150 years ago, which resulted in the commercial enslavement of African Americans who were summarily claimed as chattels backing U.S. government debt in the wake of the Civil War, despite every act of abolition and declaration of prohibit, prohibition against both peonage and slavery. It has been the policy of the United States government, African Americans. The sum total result of the Civil War was to vastly expand public sector ownership of slaves, giving rise to the outrageous and improper claims that have been made against the American states and the American state citizens that we are dealing with today. It is uniquely fitting that the Grand Army of the Republic is recalled to settle this circumstance in favor of the people. The right to act comes with the responsibility to act. This notice is by my hand and upon my civil authority set this 4th day of July of 2014 by Anna Marie Riesiver von Riesen and Maria Wilhelmina Hannah Sophia Resiner von Resensen von Leto Vorbeck, private attorney in service to His Holiness Pope Francis, in care of Box 520994, Big Lake, Alaska, Undersea. Copies to Joint Chief of Staff, Major General David E. Quantock. Other interest parties. Judicial notice. We the unified Maine common law grand jury concur with the above notice. July 4th, 2014. Signed under seal, David E. Robinson, grand jury foreman pro tem. For a more detailed report, read Disclosure 101, what you need to know. And that's pretty much it for that.